You're sitting right now, aren't you? Your chair is probably perfect. Your temperature is controlled. Your phone is an arm's length away. Everything your body could possibly want in this moment is within reach. And that's exactly the problem. The ancient version of you, the one encoded in your DNA, was built for scarcity, for struggle, for the constant negotiation between survival and death. He didn't have a thermostat. He didn't have a chair. He had to earn every calorie, every degree of warmth, every hour of rest. His discomfort wasn't a bug in the system. It was the entire operating system. And now you've removed the friction, but you've kept the same nervous system, the same body, the same brain, running on software it was never designed for. Biologists have a name for this. It's called evolutionary mismatch, an organism shaped by one environment, dropped into another, and quietly malfunctioning in ways nobody can see. You are that organism. And over the next few minutes, I want to show you 3 things about that mismatch that almost nobody says out loud. And the third one explains why nothing you've tried has fixed the flatness you feel. Number 1, the broken reward loop. Here's what most people miss. Comfort isn't the absence of pain. That's numbness. Comfort is the reward you receive after struggle, the dopamine hit when the suffering ends. But when suffering never begins, there's nowhere for the reward to land. You're left in a permanent gray zone, not suffering enough to activate your survival systems, not achieving enough to feel genuinely alive. That's the trap. Psychologists call the mechanism hedonic adaptation. Whatever state becomes constant, your brain relabels as 0. The perfect chair stops feeling like comfort within days. The controlled temperature stops registering at all. Your baseline eats every luxury you feed it, and then asks what's next. Comfort that is permanent is comfort that is invisible. Your grandfather worked with his hands. His body broke down in useful ways. His muscles had purpose. His fatigue meant something. Mining work, factory work, even farming, these created a feedback loop. He was uncomfortable. He pushed through. He saw results. His brain released the neurochemistry of a man who had done something. The loop was complete. But somewhere between his generation and yours, we outsourced the struggle. We automated it away. We made comfort the default setting. So now your discomfort shows up differently. It's existential. It's the low hum of anxiety, that grinding sense that something is wrong even though nothing objectively is. Your wife asks why you're irritable. Your kids notice you're distant. And you can't tell them the truth. You probably have never known the truth. That your nervous system is screaming because it's never allowed to do what it evolved to do. You're starving in the middle of plenty. Your body is keeping score even if you're not paying attention. Number 2, the competence erosion. The modern infrastructure of comfort has a hidden cost. It requires you to trust systems outside yourself. The heating works, so you never learn to make fire. The car navigates, so you never learn to find your way. The app solves it, so you never sit alone with a problem that's actually yours. Each convenience is a small erosion of self-reliance. And self-reliance, whether you admit it or not, is fundamental to how you perceive your own competence. It's the root of quiet masculine confidence. Not arrogance, but the knowledge that you could figure something out if you had to. That knowledge is disappearing in you. Not because you're weak, because you've never been forced to find out if you are. I want to tell you about Tom. Tom lives 3 doors down. Mid-40s, desk job, the flattest man on the street. 2 winters ago, a storm took the power out for 3 days. No heating, no hot water, no screens. And Tom came alive. He was up at dawn splitting fallen branches. He rigged a camp stove in the garage and fed half the street. He solved problems all day with his hands and his head. And by the second night, cold, tired, slightly too proud of his soup, he looked 10 years younger. Then the power came back. The lights hummed on. And over the next few weeks, I watched the gray settle back over him like dust. Nobody had taken anything from Tom. The environment simply stopped asking him to exist. That's the part nobody wants to say. The gray isn't proof something is missing in you. It's proof nothing is being asked of you. Quick pause. If the gray zone found you, if Tom's story felt uncomfortably familiar, type one word below, gray. And if you're on the other side of this, already chasing cold plunges and fasting apps, type the last genuinely hard thing you chose on purpose. Both answers matter because the third insight is about the difference between them. Number 3, the counterfeit struggle. Most people think the antidote is a gym membership, more bicep curls, more treadmill time. But that's often just another comfort pretending to be discomfort. The gym is climate controlled. Your results are quantifiable. Your effort is supervised. It's struggle with training wheels. Your nervous system knows there's no actual stake. Real discomfort is qualitatively different. It's the cold that doesn't relent on your schedule. It's the hunger that stretches across hours, not a missed snack. It's the physical task that demands problem solving because the outcome matters, not because you programmed it into an app. It's the social risk of saying something true when silence would be easier. It's the decision to do the hard thing when the comfortable option is available, in legal, and nobody would blame you for taking it. That last one is the killer, because in modern life, the comfortable option is always available. There's an old answer to this, and it doesn't come from Instagram. 2,000 years ago, Seneca told his students to schedule days of deliberate poverty, rough clothes, plain food, cold rooms, and to ask themselves one question while doing it: is this what I was so afraid of? The Japanese have misogi, one genuinely hard, uncertain undertaking a year that recalibrates what the other 364 days can throw at you. And modern biology backs the ancients with a concept called hormesis. The right dose of stress doesn't damage a system. It's the signal the system needs to grow stronger. The dose is the whole game. Too little and you decay. Chronic and unchosen, it breaks you. Brief, voluntary, and meaningful, it rebuilds you. And meaningful is the word that matters. Because here's the trap within the trap. You can't just be uncomfortable for the sake of it. That's performative. That's Instagram. Your discomfort has to be in service of something you actually value. The cold exposure isn't valuable because it's cold. It's valuable because you're choosing to endure something difficult because you've decided the person on the other side of that difficulty is worth becoming. That's the shift. Not I will be uncomfortable because discomfort is good, but I will face this difficulty because the alternative, staying as I am, is worse than any momentary pain. When you frame it that way, comfort stops being something to chase. It becomes something you earn. And when comfort is earned, it actually feels like something. Your body recognizes it. Your nervous system settles. You sleep better. Your irritability fades. Not because the comfort is different, but because you've reestablished the feedback loop. You struggled, you persisted, you emerged. Now you rest. The cycle is complete. Now the honest section, because this channel doesn't sell the usual BS associated with men's personal development. First, if the gray you're feeling is heavier than what I've described, if it's been months, if nothing lands, if the people around you are worried, that can be clinical depression, and no cold shower treats that. See a professional. This video is about a mismatch, not a diagnosis. Second, fasting and cold exposure are tools with real contraindications. If you have a heart condition or history of disordered eating, this path has doctors on it before it has ice baths. And third, don't romanticize your grandfather's world. It broke men's bodies and buried their feelings, and plenty of them died wishing for exactly the comforts you're drowning in. The goal was never to go back. The goal is to keep the one thing his world gave him for free, proof of his own capability, without paying the price he paid for it. You're still sitting in that chair, by the way. It's still perfect. The temperature hasn't moved. The phone is still an arm's length away. Nothing about this moment will ask anything of you. And that's exactly why what you do next is the most honest signal you'll send yourself all week. Your grandfather didn't need to build proof of his competence because his daily life handed it to him every sunset. You don't have that, So you have to build it, deliberately, on purpose, against the grain of everything your environment offers you. Most men won't. They'll stay in the gray and call it maturity, call it being realistic, call it self-care. The man who keeps friction in his life on purpose, who chooses the stares, the cold, the honest sentence, the heavy uncertain thing, that man is rare. Not because he suffers more, because he's the only one still getting the signal. The question isn't whether you can afford to be uncomfortable. It's whether you can afford not to be. And if you want to see what chronic comfort's twin, chronic vigilance, does to the inside of a man's blood work, I ran a 90-day experiment on exactly that. One number, 90 days, and a lever nobody talks about. It's on screen now.